So there's been a lot of discussion about an individual who appears to be a major advisor to President Trump. That would be Laura Loomer. And I'll save it for Saagar to explain who this lady is, because she could probably do a better job.
Maybe you should do it so she doesn't Loomer me.
Well,
right?
Okay, so let's go ahead and put her tweet up on the screen. This is just some of her recent work, where she even got a visibility limited warning for hateful conduct from Elon Musk's Twitter. She says, if Kamala Harris wins, the White House will smell like curry, and White House speeches will be facilitated via a call center, and the American people will only be able to convey their feedback through a customer satisfaction survey at the end of the call that nobody will understand. You get it, guys? Because Kamala Harris is half Indian. LOL, isn't that funny? This is also the lady that went on Tim Pool's broadcast and called for Democrats to be executed for treason. He actually took down the episode because of her calling for the mass murder of Democrats. So this is the person that we're talking about here. And, this is something that I've been talking a bit about, Saagar, is 2016 Trump, tabloid Trump, 2020 Trump, Fox News Trump, 2024 Trump is like Truth Social Trump. And there is no better emblem of that evolution, in my view, than his association with this person who's been flying on his plane, and he's, always like lauding her and touting how smart she is and how insightful, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, you asked me earlier in the show, you said, what is racist and not? And I think that's pretty clearly racist. By the way, if you want to know the reason why, it is because specifically about the linking the practice of race to the well-documented love of white nationalists, was just talking about how Indians, quote, eat curry and always smell like it. What did she say in terms of the link? Anyway, I won't even dignify it. But continuing, I think, with this vein, is funny to me. It is recognized now that these people around Trump are a problem, specifically by others who previously would have backed these people up. So Marjorie Taylor Greene being the prime example for me, because she then begins attacking Laura Loomer. Now, the thing is about Loomer is she's been banned and unbanned from social media for like the entire time that I've been involved in conservative circles. She's one of those people who, she calls it getting Loomered. That was the joke I was making earlier, where she would stick a camera in your face and ask you a question. I mean, she is, I think, best described as like a genuine like apparatchik. She recently, after Elon bought Twitter, has been back on Twitter, and she's been fighting and beefing. She's very, very pro-Trump. The only topic I've seen her engage with, like outside of Trump, is on Israel, where she debated Dave Smith earlier for Zero Hedge. Just putting that
She's
out there.
extremely pro-Israel. It's like a key issue for her.
So that's Loomer, I guess, in a nutshell. She's always been kind of a right-wing provocateur. I remember seeing her at CPAC, and they banned her, and they unbanned her. It was a whole
She ran for Congress. She lost.
She ran for Congress, and she lost.
I mean, she's, pretty overt with her biases and her just insanity.
I don't even know how to describe. I mean, she just genuinely is like, she takes the Trump posting to its most logical conclusion. And what I mean by that is just like, Trump can never do any wrong. Trump is always good. Like, Trump must be protected at all costs. So she leverages that. She'll back up basically anything that the guy says. And it's always like an attack dog on the left. So that's why they love her.
And
Trump
she's
specifically.
Viciously anti-DeSantis too.
Very
which shows you it's anyone who is oppositional to Trump at all.
And so that's important, because what that means is that Trump feels the most comfortable with people like her and others who are around him. Everybody around him has to validate him at all times, and it kind of has to constantly manage his personality, which is why I actually thought that the Marjorie Taylor Greene breaking with Laura Loomer was interesting, because Marjorie previously would be one of those people who would, she's very close with Trump. She's always backing up Trump. They've split maybe only once publicly on the whole Kevin McCarthy thing, right? But that's basically it. So when she then started to attack Loomer, I started to pay attention. I said, this is interesting, because she thinks, clearly Marjorie thinks that Loomer is a bad influence on Trump, shouldn't be around Trump, and is bad reputationally for him.
See, I feel like it's more petty interpersonal jealousy is what I actually think it is, because Loomer has his ear, She may have some other parts of him, but we'll leave that speculation to others. They've been very friendly with one another, and I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is jealous of the access that Laura Loomer has right now. In any case, after the Curry tweet, Marjorie Taylor Greene decided this was a bridge too far. She put out a Twitter post, and she also went to the cameras and denounced Laura Loomer. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
This is such an important election. I don't think that she has the experience or the right mentality to advise a very important president. I'm not involved in their conversations, so I can't weigh in on that. But I do know this, that her rhetoric and her tone does not match the base, does not match MAGA, does not match most Republicans I know. And I am completely denouncing it. I'm over it. And I would encourage anyone else that matches her statements to stop.
So this triggered one of the messiest Twitter fights I've ever seen.
Yep.
We can put, I'm not gonna read all of this, guys, but we can put this up on the screen just to show you how ugly this got and how fast. Laura Loomer tweets in part, "Hey Marjorie Taylor Greene, remember when you destroyed your family so you could have sex with a Zangief," I don't know what that is, cosplayer. "Tell me again how you and the Arby's in your pants are representatives of the GOP." And it went on from there. So, which also I wanted to put up because to give you a sense of Laura Loomer and who she is and how she operates.
Go for anybody.
So yeah, and Marjorie Taylor Greene wasn't the only one who came out. I believe Tom Tillis was also North Carolina Republican senator, was also coming out against her. Trump, this became enough of an issue because it isn't just, about these like messy beefs, but this is a genuine question of who has Trump's ear, why is he engaging in some of these seemingly insane tactics and indulging some of the seemingly insane conspiracy theories that he is indulging seemingly to his campaign's detriment. So he got asked about it out on the campaign trail. Let's take a listen to his response.
Your Republican colleagues or your allies who are concerned about your close relationship with Laura Loomer?
Well, I don't know what they would say. Laura's been a supporter of mine, just like a lot of people are supporters, and she's been a supporter of mine. She speaks very positively of the campaign. I'm not sure why you asked that question, but Laura is a supporter. I don't control Laura. Laura has to say what she wants. She's a free spirit. Well, I don't know. I mean, look, I can't tell Laura what to do. Laura's a supporter. I have a lot of supporters, but I don't know what exactly you're referring to. That's okay. Yeah, please. I just don't know. Laura's a supporter. I don't know. She is a strong person. She's got strong opinions, and I don't know what she said, but that's not up to me. She's a supporter.
She's a supporter. She's a free spirit. I have a lot of supporters. Yeah, but not all those supporters are riding on your plane with you.
Yeah, and
going to the 9/11 memorial with you and whatever.
Yeah, she's been pictured with him now several times. Let's put this up there on the screen. Like, for example, we have multiple photos of them like hugging and being around each other. She's made herself like a permanent presence at Mar-a-Lago. So it just demonstrates, again, the same problem that Trump always has, where he will surround himself with the people who not only tell him what to hear, but like his most loyal people. He believes that loyalty is the chief and the most important virtue for those who are around him, people who will always defend him, especially whenever things get bad for him. He did this during Access Hollywood. He would retreat. He would surround himself. Whenever he was president and he would say something, Charlottesville, whatever, he would retreat again to like his closest people who would always be willing to back him up. Part of the reason that he loves Jesse Waters and all these Fox News other people is because they'll always defend him, Greg Gutfeld and others. Right. And Loomer falls in that category, I think, of the people who will fly with him around on the plane, to always tell him that what he's doing is good, backed him up on Stop the Steal or any of the other stuff. And Trump is the most comfortable there. And frankly, it's one of the worst things about him, right? Because that means that he's never actually getting checked by anybody who is around him.
Yeah.
And in general, on a long enough timeline, these people end up triumphing in his personal orbit. Although sometimes he does listen, remember this too, he also personally has no loyalty. So if she does become a problem, he will just fire her or he'll never see her again, which I could also see happening.
Do you think that he will listen to the criticism and distance himself from her?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen a report that she's been around him yet. But at this point, like looking at where things are, I don't think it's reached like a critical mass level yet. But for him, sometimes the bar is, if I even have to take a question about it, you're done.
You know that this association is driving Chris LaCivita and Susie Wiles.
Oh yeah, crazy. Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, they also hate that because that that diminishes their access to the candidate. Because these are exactly the type of people who be like, don't listen to your advisors, don't listen to whatever. Everything you do is amazing. And they're like, okay.
Well, and you can see, in the debate, right? The first 15 minutes of Trump are like the Krystal and Saagar 15 minutes. It's, you know, it's hitting the points on the economy, and the last 5 minutes where he suddenly remembered, like, oh my God, I'm supposed to say, like, if you were going to solve these problems, why didn't you do it? And here's the issues. And in between was the Laura Loomer influence, and that's what ends up. The problem is, even if you only have a dash of Laura Loomer, which there was more than a dash in that debate performance, but what is the thing everyone's talking about it after it? It's pets, right? It's they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets, and so you only need, you know, an instant relapse to Laura Loomer mode. And you know, it would not be surprising at all if she was the one that was talking in his ear right before the debate about that, and then that's what comes out, and then that becomes the moment. So, in any case, interesting drama, interesting infighting playing out, turf wars playing out, and I think also indicative of the fact that they don't feel like things are going particularly well for them right now. They feel like the polls should look better. You know, I think obviously he could win. There's no doubt about that. The polls are very close. The Electoral College is even closer. But I do think they have a sense that things are not going the way they want them to go. And when that happens, then you start to get all these like ugly, messy fights too.
That's a good point. Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps get the show to more people.
And if you'd like to get the full show ad-free and in your inbox every morning, you can sign up at breakingpoints.com.
That's right. Get the full show, help support the future of independent media at breakingpoints.com.